He likes clear water. This is his style of fishing. So, dude, it'd be hard not to have him in your top.
Steve Kennedy, he is a stud on these Heron Lakes, and he's making a move.
Yeah, me and Steve's kind of been talking a little bit in practice, and we run into each other a couple of times. And, yesterday Steve got real fortunate and caught like a 3.5 pounder on his very last cast, I think, which got him in there for sure. But that's the thing about this tournament. It's the guys that can make those decisions on the fly and knowing when something's not working and changing and being able to adapt. And it may be just going to a totally different area that you haven't even fished and picking something up that you haven't even fished with and start catching them on it. That's the kind of decisions that it takes in this type of tournament to win it.
We talked a little bit about it before the show started. You finished 28th, I believe, Wesley. These 4-pound, 5-pound class fish, the amount of difference that they can make in a tournament it's so tight from top to bottom right now.
And that's the thing. These guys aren't fishing for 20 bites a day. They're fishing for 6, 7 bites, unless you're Canterbury. He's fishing for 20 bites a day. But that's what you're fishing for, 6 or 7 bites a day, or maybe just 5, and you got to capitalize on each bite that you get. And when you don't capitalize on it, that is a game changer. It plays with your mind because you're not getting but 5 or 6 a day or 7 bites a day. And when you lose one and one of them's a good one, you're like, I just lost it. You just slipped, and you can't do that in this type of tournament.
Michael Woolley sitting in 4th. Speaking of losing a fish, he made a big jump yesterday. Woolley did, and lost his first keeper at the boat today on his. It's the first bite the guy's had all day. And then he goes and loses it at the boat.
That could affect you for the rest of the day. This game is so, it takes some skill too, but it's more mental than it is skill. It's about decision making and keeping the right frame of mind and being able to stay focused and on every single cast. I mean, this is the weather that we got. It's so easy to get out there and it'd be so hot and you're not getting no bites. And just like yesterday, I caught one yesterday. I wasn't even looking at my bait. I was throwing a frog. And I actually I was looking away, and I felt my line get tight, and I thought, what's the world going on? And I caught a 2.5 pounder. And that's the kind of thing. You have to stay focused. Just because you're not getting bit, it doesn't mean that very next cast it could be that 3, 4, or 5 pounder. And that's with the heat and not getting many bites,
mental
you can
fatigue.
you can lose your concentration just like that.
Exactly, you better believe it.
That's exactly what Jacob Wheeler said on the stage yesterday. At this level, every single one of them anglers have the casting ability. They have the knowledge. They know how to fish every bait on the water. But him, it's all about mental toughness. And you hit it right on the head. And that's, of course, our next angler on the list, really.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably, for as young as he is, golly, bum, he stays so focused, and that's amazing. I couldn't do that at my age. I'd be scatterbrained, running around like a chicken with his head cut off. And that's what I used to do until, the older you get, the smarter you get. I don't know if so much in my case, but I've learned patience over the years anyway.
Well, he is sitting in 5th place, Jacob Wheeler is right now. He does have about 5 pounds in the boat, so he's got a couple keepers in there, How did it go for you? Was it an early morning deal both days, or, kind of throughout the day?
Practice was really good. I mean, I ain't going to say it was great. Not a whole lot of bites, but the bites that you did get, we had Kyle covered the first 2 days of practice, but the thing is, just like Jacob, he's got 24 pounds coming into today. Well, he's got 5, so that's at 30. He may make it in with just that. I mean, that's just, and that's what you got to do. Like I'm saying, you got to give yourself a chance to be there on that last day. You could catch it. You could possibly catch a 20-pound stringer.
How about your day 1 leader, Castro Pro David Dudley, comes in with a 17-pound bag on day 1?
3 on day 2.
It's kicked around a little bit on day 2.
He said he was sleeping. I don't know what he was sleeping about on day 2. I mean,
is it a good time? Is the Forrest Wood Cup day 2 a good time to catch up on your naps or what, man?
Not in my opinion. I don't think so.
I hear you.
Is he playing that? Let's just be conservative. Possibly, did he hold back? Did he catch just enough?
No, not David Dudley. David Dudley don't hold nothing back. He's a very, you hear these guys say, "Well, I went out and swung for the fence today." David Dudley swings for the fence every day. David Dudley does not hold nothing back. I don't care if he had 25 in the boat, he's trying to catch 30. He don't hold back. And for some reason, I don't know what it is, David Dudley's a great angler. He catches them everywhere we go. But when big money's at play,
Yeah.
he is always there. I don't care if he didn't catch anything in practice. He will be there on the last day.
Shows up for the big time, right?
We talked about that yesterday on our show. These guys at this level, in these tough tournaments, these big names are going to show up. You know, the David Dudleys, the Thrifts. We beat it kind of to a horse yesterday, but he's going to show up in this tournament because it's that tough and it's David Dudley.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. He said it himself. He said, I don't know what it is, but he said, I wish I could make myself fish like these in regular tournaments. He said, but he said it just happens, and that's, you know, there's certain people that have just natural instincts of what to do in certain situations. That's what I go back to. It's all about being mentally prepared for something, and after you do this so many years, you know. I don't know how to explain. It's like you're running down the lake and you look over and you see this tree, and you've been by that tree 20 times during the tournament, and you look over and go, I need to go fish that tree. And you pull over and you catch a big one out of the tree, or you catch a good one out of the tree. I can't explain it. It just, you can talk to every fisherman, and it happens to every fisherman, and it's just something that you got it or you don't got it.
It also builds in confidence.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, over here in 7th place right now, Anthony Gagliardi. No updates on him right now, but you know he's been pretty good so far the first couple days. He's on our consistent list right now with 13 pounds on day 1, 10 pounds on day 2. See if he can come back in with something this afternoon. Scary. 8th place. You said, you know.
That was my pick going into the day. I said that Andy Morgan was my pick going into the day because... I don't know if he is or if he ain't, but I told you he's like Brent Ayler. He wakes up with 12 pounds in his britches every morning. I mean, I don't know what it is. That dude, he's almost like Moses. You know, you held up the staff to part the Red Seas. He just holds his rod up and fish jump in the boat.
Oh, man. He's only got one head in the boat right now from what we've heard. But, you know, if you're in 7th place up to 1st place, you know Andy Morgan's right behind you.
The deal that Andy's doing, I kind of know what he's doing, and it's just like me and Tharp were in the same area the last 2 days fishing. Tharp did not have a bite yesterday till 12 o'clock. So, and I had 3 before 11, and Tharp ended up catching 13 pounds in the last 2 or 3 hours of the day.
One of them was 6.4 pounds right out of that little neck in the afternoon. Now, was that because you are no longer in the tournament? Was that a shallow water area?
Yep.
I figured it would be with
same deal,
Tharp going shallow.
Throwing a frog, just spinner baiting around.
So we know the bite is active early shallow, but if you stay patient, possibly in some of these areas, some of these bigger fish may jump on. I mean, obviously it did yesterday.
That's what's kind of weird. It kind of flip-flopped because in practice, it was early. It was on early. And then after that, it just kind of petered out around 10 o'clock. If you didn't have what you need to get by 10 o'clock, it's done. It seems like it's flip-flopped. It's like you get a couple bites in the morning, if you're lucky. Then after that, it picks back up after. I don't know if it's the way the moon. You know, we're here on a full moon, and the moon's going away. So I don't know. You know, that's all the things you got to factor into fishing. That's being able to make those adjustments on the water. But I think it's because the moon's going away. Your bluegill came up and started spawning on the full moon. Now it's going away. You still have bluegill spawning, but they're not spawning as aggressively as they were right at the full moon.
You know, during practice, it was like every day you guys had to practice. It was overcast. It was raining. First day of the tournament, bam, sun. And that's got to play into some of the guys' practice.
Yeah, you know, that's like I said, that just plays into making those decisions, making those on-the-water decisions, knowing what to do and where to go and how to do it when the conditions change like that.
I mean, the bluegill spawn, you just hit on that, and I was going to bring that up. You know, I believe when Jacob Wheeler won his Forrest Wood Cup, he was throwing a prop bait over the top of the bluegill beds. We know a lot of guys are on the water throwing buzz baits around docks, around the shore, parallel in these shallow flats. It's a high-risk, great-reward bait. But how important will the bluegill play into this? This is the first time we've talked about the bluegill.
This is the thing. From what I understand, I mean, this lake has changed so much since the last time that I was here. It really didn't have the bluebacks in it the last time that I was here when I fished it, and those bluebacks has played a big key in the way the fish habits have changed over the years. It's almost like you can draw a line from Dreer Island straight across the lake. Anything south of that is predominantly herring fish, and then anything north of that is pretty much shad, bluegill, and from what I've been told is the bluegill are spawning really heavily on the lower end, but the bass are not there eating on them because the bluebacks have changed their feeding habits.
But now, ask you,
as far as above, now that's what's going on.
I was going to ask you what you thought was a more consistent bait to target. I know you said, but you kind of answered it there because the bass aren't with the bluegill.
Well, not on the lower end, but on the upper end they are. And the thing is, those herring are so nomadic, and they change every day, and they're not in the same place twice. And that's why I elected to fish shallow, because I'm not really good at that. So I knew I could have spent 3 days doing that and never got a bite. So
here today, gone tomorrow.
Exactly.
Daniel, what else do you got? I'm going to turn this back over to you.
Let's see what we got here. You know, the other big story that we got right now, Wesley, is your 12th placed man, Casey Ashley. Lives an hour and a half, 2 hours away from here. He came in 12th place. Top 10's what we're looking for today. Casey's got 4 in the boat, and in his 4 are 10-plus pounds right now.
He can't do it wrong. He's got money's marbles and chalk. He can sing, he can fish, he can do anything. So
he's got it going on.
You better watch out.
You look at what he did. He had 9 pounds on day 1, 11 pounds on day 2. We know he's got over the 10-pound bag on day 3.
When you see a guy's weight going up, you better watch out.
Gets scary, doesn't it?
It's not good. It's not good for the guy in the front. If you see the guy behind you, he's increasing his weight by 2 pounds every day. That could get scary in the end.
I'll tell you. Let me just one more thing before we go here. Do you like the Forrest Wood Cup? This one, it's tight from top to bottom. Anything can happen.
This is the kind of
like?
tournament you want to be in. You don't want to be somewhere where they're catching 25-pound stringers. No matter what you do on the first day, you still have a shot to make up ground. And that's what I like. I like tough, grinding out tournaments. 5 bites a day, 6 bites a day, that's my kind of deal. I like it. And it's a level playing field for everybody.
You better believe it. Tell you what, once again, thank you. This has been the 12 o'clock edition of the Cup Insider. Daniel, Allen, Mr. Wesley Strader. We'll see you right back at 1 o'clock.